Hi guys, welcome to Sports Maestros TV. I am Radik, and today we are going to be talking about January signings of the EPL clubs. Which of the clubs in EPL did the best transfer signings and the ones that did the least transfer signings. So we want to talk about the activities of clubs. But first we are going to be starting with the bottom five. And Wale is going to be giving us his bottom five of the clubs with the least activities in the January transfer window. So Wale, over to you.
For me, the number 20 team didn't have any contestants. Everton are firmly in the 20th position. We look at Everton, they only survived relegation last season by the Whiskers. This season has been topsy-turvy. They sacked their manager, they got a new manager just at this time. And for them not to have any player on the sheet is amazing. No player came into Everton. Everton are the only club in the EPL that didn't bring in a single player during the window.
And they ended up losing one of their best players.
And in Anthony Gordon, they lost to who a lot of people have called the future at Everton. I really do not understand what is happening at Everton. Like you said earlier, it is like Everton are inviting invitation this season when they fought so hard to avoid it last time out.
Yeah. Last season, you struggled to avoid relegation. As a matter of fact, it was I think the second to the last game.
Yes, the game with Chelsea
got them out of relegation, and you expect that this season they're going to be better. But the way it is, they are actually in the relegation battle, and if you're in the relegation battle, you expect that this January you want to do some signings, bring in some players, not losing players and not replacing the players.
You know, that's the way many clubs fight off relegation. You change the manager to put players, to put the dressing room in order, and then as soon as you have any opportunity, you bring in new players, new blood, and then they come in, they hit the ground running, they energize the entire team, and then you get some momentum. Everton failed to achieve any of this.
Invitation to relegation. So who's your number 19?
I'll still be on the Messi side and pick Liverpool. Liverpool are obvious title contenders when the season started, and the season didn't go quite as planned. Anybody who has followed Liverpool by some extent will know where the problems are. Liverpool need a brand new midfield.
Obviously. And
then an entire window passed, and Liverpool did nothing to address that. And yes, they got in the player, but you would think that between a winger, a Cody Gakpo that they bought, and 2 or 3 places in the midfield, begging, screaming for attention, which should Liverpool have addressed first?
I think you're right on that.
For me, definitely they are in number 19.
And you also expect them to also look at who is going to be back up to Arnold, who is going to be back up to Robertson, because it's beginning to look as if those guys are tired.
Really, and those 2 players you mentioned have always been the pivots for the entire team. The way Liverpool play, it's always high intensity back and forth from these wing backs. They get the ball to the 3 front players who, their energy, their athleticism, they get a lot of goals between them, and it's worked for them in the club years. So they lost it now. You would think that they will want reinforcements in those areas. They also didn't get any.
So it's a Merseyside thing now. So if Everton is inviting relegation, then I think
Liverpool want to stay out of Europe.
Liverpool want to stay out of Europe.
Exactly.
So which team will be your number 18?
Number 18, I will pick Newcastle. Newcastle have a realistic chance of not just being in Europe but playing the Champions League. When was the last time Newcastle were in the Champions League?
The time of Shearer?
Yes, Alan Shearer was still active. Yeah, and it was Alan Shearer.
Bobby Robson was
manager. Bobby Robson was manager. Alan Shearer was active, and then a certain Michael Owen too had returned from Real Madrid that was playing at Newcastle. It's almost 20 years now. That's what I'm saying. Yes, it's almost 20 years. So they have a realistic chance this season. You would look at the teams in the top four and you say to yourself, perhaps Newcastle have the weakest teams of the clubs in the top four.
So Newcastle is the team you expect to narrowly
to buy
miss.
more.
Is the team you expect to narrowly miss the top four if they are not careful.
If they're not careful,
Because Tottenham is looking in.
Tottenham are looking in.
So you expect them to get some signings, especially because they have the funds to
Exactly.
actually do this business.
With the money they have, with the backing that they have, with the opportunity of being in the top four, keeping out the like of Chelsea, the like of Tottenham, the like of Liverpool, you would expect that Newcastle would take this opportunity with both hands. And 3 players came in, but realistically, you can only say Anthony Gordon came.
The others
you would expect that they will fortify 1 or 2 major areas. They will bring in quality names. There will be quality addition to the squad. But indeed, if you take out Anthony Gordon, I don't think they really maximized the opportunity that the January transfer window presented.
Okay. So which team will be the next?
Well, you may not agree with me on this, and I would like to know what our viewers also think. They may not readily agree with me on this, but I'll put Fulham.
Fulham, a surprise entry.
Yes, they are 7th at the moment. They are safe, no doubt. Perhaps Europe, but Fulham did behave as if they really want to be in Europe next season.
Well, don't you think it's about priorities? Don't you think they've overachieved? What was their target at the beginning of the season? Where are they now? What is the management thinking? We are still within our priority, so we don't need to move.
I don't get it, Radic. Football life itself is about opportunities. I don't know where Fulham plan to be at the end of the season, but they are 7th. They have a chance to remain there. They have a chance to even go maybe a position or 2 closer to the top and play definitely maybe the Europa, if not in the Conference League. But in the transfer window, you expect them to get in good players, to bolster the team, and they didn't do that.
Okay, so your list team will be.
There will be some disagreement on this one, but I'll put Man City in that position at number 16.
Wonderful. I think our viewers will love this. So what do you have to say about that?
Man City are defending champions.
Obviously.
Man City can even still be champions this year. And then Man City didn't really do much in the transfer window.
And they got the young man from the Argentine league.
From Vélez Sarsfield.
What do you think? Don't you think we have a future Jesus in the making?
Oh well and good. It may turn out to be their next Bernardo Silva, or maybe their next KDB. All well and good. We are talking about the remaining matches in this season. We are talking about the opportunity for Man City to overcome Arsenal and go top of the league, probably win the league. We are talking about 1 or 2 players to keep the 11 that play week in, week out on their toes. So we are looking at that 1 player, that 2 player that would re-energize the team. In the July window, they got a top striker.
Okay.
And look at the effects on the team. You would expect that in January too, they would do something like that. Maybe a top midfielder, maybe a top defender, maybe someone who will come into the team and make the team stronger and better. I don't think Man City did that.
Okay. Anyways, we know Man City is Man City, and we know what they are capable of doing. If I was to actually put a team in that mix and save Man City, I think I will be looking at Aston Villa. Aston Villa is in 11th position, 10 points from 10 points safe.
Yes, that's correct.
And I would like to think they will remain that way till the end of the season. But we all know Premiership is a very, very unpredictable league. Teams are striving to get out of relegation, and they are being active in the market. But Aston Villa in the January window just got 2 players. Out of the 2 players, only one is a known player. And,
Okay.
and I think they should have done better. I think they should be looking at climbing further into the log than actually remaining in the same position, because remaining in the same position is very dangerous.
That's true. But you look at the players that they also got. Quality additions. We know Moreno. We know what's capable of doing. He's been in Europe for quite a while. He's been a very, very stable player at Real Betis. The other guy from MLS, they put some good money on him, so you expect that he also add his quality to the team. And we've had players coming from the MLS, maybe by way of Germany, before now, and then they did quite well when they go to the Premiership. So yes, I really don't see that much of a worry at Aston Villa. What would you think their priorities are? Perhaps just a few matches away, they were looking at relegation. Now they are safe. But you look at Man City. Man City still have the potential to go all the way.
Okay, wonderful. There you have it. Wally's bottom 5. We would like to know yours. You can put that in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can get our content as we push them out immediately. Then don't forget to also like us. This is Sports Maestro TV, and we are signing out. Thank you.